Welcome back, everybody, to Simtrax Broadcasting. This is Patrick Morrison coming to you live here from the Nashville Super Speedway. As right now we are taking a look at Blake Trawick out there in the 56 Ford, who has been hot as of late here, late in the season. Obviously, a new driver here to the Truck Series with these guys. He's starting to get a good feel out for the USORL Series, as these guys have been doing a great job, but tonight marks our season finale here with the trucks on this fine Thursday night. Following this race, we will end up switching to the Cup cars to go ahead and get their season almost complete there, as we see the 43 of John Peterson apparently taking a picture of his truck out here on the landscape. I'm not quite sure what in the world he's doing out there. But the Advent Health is looking like he's going to need a CAT scan out there as to what the heck he's doing for a qualifying lap. All right, joining alongside me tonight is going to be Douglas Ross Jr., and definitely I appreciate you hanging in here with us here for the season finale. I am hoping for an excellent race, especially with a concrete track, a lot of drivers, and 4 guys trying to kill each other to get them away with the championship here tonight.
It's most definitely, and tonight is definitely going to be some hot action-packed racing tonight. It all comes down to this. With 4 drivers remaining, question is, which one of these 4 wants it more?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's going to definitely narrow it down to who is going to make it. Those drivers being Andrew Hennessy, Austin Hakes, Garrett Sidnor, and Luke Smith. Those 4 drivers are going to be looking to have a great time here tonight. Luke Smith currently sitting in the 6th spot, and we'll see how they do as they get started here for the warm-up here tonight. Bill Harkins joining us out there on his off night. Hey, Bill, appreciate you joining us here. Definitely don't forget to check out Geezer Authentics out there, and all the 100% of the items that you buy from Geezer Authentics do go to the league. Then that would be over there at the Bandit Racing League. Guys, if you're looking to sign up for the USORL series here for Thursday nights, it'll be me and Douglas here hanging out in the booth with you guys, and definitely we'll be watching you from a bird's eye view from up top, seeing how you do out there. If you have the opportunity, definitely give these guys a try. I like the way they race out here. I would say a little messy. I think when Eric Sable was out there at one point, he got a little messy out there and a little frustrated. I don't blame him, as he was one of the top 2 guys in the regular season. I think he came away with 5 wins, and Andrew Hennessy came away with 5. And Hennessy looking at, is right now voted the favorite out there to win this one here tonight. But can he do it? I mean, it's going to be right now. I'm looking at a bunch of laps here. These guys are really going to have to push their luck and pick up a lot of pace out there to be that guy. And you want to get up to the front. You want to lead early because the way this track goes is not quite friendly. And it's not very friendly to the tires. It's not friendly to the car. And especially when they're pushing around here, any ricocheting off the walls is going to be tough. And that's just something you see about Nashville Super Speedway, is they've been only racing here for about a decade. It has kind of fallen off the chart here a little bit when it came to the Cup Series. But they have brought it back, and now they are competing on it as well. Taking a look out there. Jay is out there. And Bill Harkins as well. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the Simtrax Broadcasting stream here. Definitely we are counting above 750 and continuing on, starting to check up a little bit as we've slowed down there on the subscribers, but I've not slowed down out there in the chat. I do talk to you guys here as we move throughout the race and see how we do. And right now, Douglas, we have reached here at Nashville Super Speedway. Probably should have asked you before. Have we visited this track? And if so, how did it feel out there?
Me personally, I have never raced on this track. I can actually tell you, but I have seen a couple of other people race this track. I've seen my buddy Zane Touchton have raced in this track a couple of times, and I can tell you right now, this track is going to be a battle when it comes to some of these drivers. I mean, some drivers are going to like it, some drivers are going to hate it. And after what we seen last week when it came to strategy and everything, we can't wait to see what tonight's going to bring.
Oh, yeah. I've raced here at this track before, more in the ARCA cars and the Truck Series, and it's very difficult to stay attached to this track. That right rear tire wants to burn off immediately, and that's exactly what you get out of a concrete track. And it's going to be a little tricky for them to stay kind of any kind of tire savings with it being so rough and difficult. Hasn't had a lot of time to build up a bunch of rubber out there on the track, so there's still a lot of abrasive spots out there for these guys to really have to kind of pedal through, more or less, trying to see if they can shoot through the rest of this field and get racy out there. Some guys, they're saying this is a track you can hardly pass on, but if they are able to get a run, you may see a few guys try to dive bomb it through, or right here at the front stretch, you'll see them drop off the table there a little bit, but I would be concerned with that yellow line. Obviously, there's no passing below that yellow line, so I don't think anybody's going to be able to make a slice here down onto the bottom. And right now, William Page is even out there in the chat out there saying, looking for a good finish to the season tonight. Oh, yeah, we are definitely hoping for a great one here tonight. Why don't we take a peek at what tonight is going to bring us here for the Track and Turf Championship Thursday season finale here tonight. 90 laps, 65% fuel limit, and 3 sets of tires hanging out in the pit. And I guarantee you, if we end up under caution, we're going to see these guys use up every single one of them. But unfortunately, no fast repairs for them in this fixed setup league, which is going to be pretty tough out there. And if you guys were tuned in last night, this is much of the track temperature we were seeing there as well. 75 degrees, 73 in the air. So very nice, nice day. Not too muggy out there, but it is going to be very difficult for these tires to heat up and be the way that these guys like it, to be able to get out there and try to nail down consistent times. It's not just fast times. I mean, Garrett Sidnor, Daryl Harris, John Peterson, these guys are fast, but it's the consistency. They've got to remain consistent. I expect to see John Peterson. He'll probably be hanging out probably at the very bottom of the top 10 here, and then he'll be looking to push his way up to the front once everybody's tires start wearing in. But drivers who are different would be a driver like the number 7 Chevrolet of Cam Barnes. Now, Cam Barnes, I see him jumping the gun here with Andrew Hennessy, and both these guys trying to leave the rest of the field. Luke Smith is going to have to see if he can defend and try to catch up to them as well before they escape, which is going to be extremely hard. Unfortunately, I believe these guys have actually only raced at this track one other time back in season number 1. Cal Lovell was actually the winner there. And Cal is having a little trouble coming away with the win and kind of reprising his role. Either the drivers have gotten even more difficult out there and harder to chase down, or he is just having a slew of bad luck. But he is trying to see if he can undo that. But hard to undo it when you don't show up. Oh, yeah, just kidding. There's Cal Lovell right there in the 540, sitting there right now, fastest during the warm-up here with a 29.77. And Douglas, we got guys out here, that tonight's the night. Tonight is crunch time. The Truck Series ends and we move on to the Cup Series where we are in the Xfinity cars. And it's going to be a big change. A lot of weight's going to be in the rear of the cars of the Xfinities. It's going to be a little bit wider. It's going to handle a lot different than the guys who are used to being in the trucks out here and have really been putting down great times and being able to make something of it out there.
It's most definitely, and I can tell you this, with the trucks, you're definitely going to have not that much horsepower. It's going to be a lot lighter in the rear end, so you're going to have many differences compared to an Xfinity car. But you go to an Xfinity car, you're talking about more horsepower, and you're talking about different strategies with the car. It's really uncomparable.
Right. So these guys having to change it, though. Fortunately, they do not go to sequential shifting. They will stay with the H pattern out there to try to make things a little easier. As we take a look at Andrew Hennessy, currently hanging out there in the 94 Chevrolet, staying with that same paint scheme that definitely is put in a winner's circle multiple times here since we have taken over from Chris Scala over there at Captain Esports Network. Appreciate him taking over and leading us off. We are here with the Truck Series during the first race at Daytona. And boy, these guys put on a heck of a show out there, especially first race. Then Captain Esports took over there for a little bit, and then we came in just as the playoffs come underway. All right, still about a couple minutes left here in their final warm-up here of the season. And they are looking to see if there's any changes. Right now, I see somebody who's on the fly right now, the 49 Toyota of Scott Fleener out there. Right now, that's 29.64 is what I'm showing. Boy, that's on the move, though, I got to admit. Great job here, Darren Ingram. Looking to see if he can have a good race tonight. Now, Ingram has been bashed, banged, beaten. Even the last race where he desperately needed to come away with a solid finish. And unfortunately was taken out more than once out there. So Ingram will be looking from the outside in. And Luke Smith, I think the Mountain Dew machine, is looking to kind of come away with a win. I think he'd like to be the one doing donuts here at the end. And Douglas, you know, I know we're supposed to be impartial, but kind of seeing how this season has gone, I know you joined in a little bit late, and a little lack of information, I guess, first-hand knowledge here. You know, who do you think might be our guy that we really need to keep an eye out for?
Well, after what I've seen, I've ended up viewing the past 4 races, and like I said, I think Andrew Hennessy is definitely going to be the guy to beat tonight. He's been very consistent. He's picked up a few wins, and he's definitely going to be the guy to beat, but you can't count out Austin Hakes, Luke Smith, or Garrett Sidnor either, as they could be hiding right in the shadows. But I think Andrew Hennessy, he's going to be the one to beat tonight.
Huh. Yeah, Andrew Hennessy, and you apparently side with everybody else that he is the favorite to come away with the upset. Yeah, well, not the upset. To be the finish here tonight, Luke Smith, I believe, is lined up for the upset. But we definitely don't want to count out Garrett Sidnor, who's currently sitting down pit, getting prepped for the race now. And Austin Hakes, who's sitting currently 7th during this warm-up. So we are getting ready to get underway as everybody heading back to the garage for the final time here, unless they get taken out here during this run. So we'll see. This is gonna be a tight one. I'm very concerned for all of our drivers out there, if they're going to be able to maintain and be fast. Definitely, we'll see how it goes here in the Music City, and we'll go ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Let's do it. Let's take a look at our starting grid here for tonight. Andrew Hennessy, yep, not to be surprised, sitting on that number 1 spot on the inside of row number 1. Scott Fleener will be to his outside. We saw that during the warm-up here. Scott Fleener sat 2nd, so he's going to be pretty quick out there. I think Andrew Hennessy is going to need to come up with something for him, as he's only about 46 thousandths of a second off. William Page sits 3rd. Austin Hakes, there's our last finalist here, sitting 4th. Cal Laval sits 5th with Luke Smith 6th. Good idea. Looks like these guys are split very well as 2 and 2 to the inside and outside rows here, as Blake Traywick sits 7th and Cam Barnes 8th. Moving on to Garrett Sidnor, who is 9th, and Noah Joyce 10th. I'm hoping Noah Joyce is able to take behind the wheel here tonight, as I've seen he's missed a couple of races. Able to get onto the track? Yes, he is. Excellent. And Bordeaux will be 12th on the outside of Darrell Harris. Now, Harris in the 91 machine, we've kind of kept our eye on them. He's looked like he's driving pretty safe here tonight, so our Canadian not looking to be ice skating here tonight. He's going to be working his way up to the front and trying to see if he can have a solid finish here to the end, to see if he can attack that sponsor back onto the side. Colby Martin 13th, as Richard Joplin sits in the 14th position. Davey Hazard looks like a slow qualifying time for him, as he decided not to go out for qualify. Sits 15th, Darren Ingram 16th, and John Peterson rounding out the end of our field. Pace car is off, and we are getting ready to get underway here in just a moment. Good Lord, what in the world is that? Let's go.
We got green action going on. Right now, Andrew Hennessy wasting no time at all, grabbing the number 1 spot as Scott Fleener. He is going to follow right behind him in spot number 2. And we still got a battle going on between William Page and Austin Hakes, another one of our playoff drivers. And here comes Luke Smith trying to get into the action.
Yeah, right now, the key is for our playoff drivers not to take each other out. 3 of them sitting in the top 5. Sidnor wants to fight out, but fight back in, as he's currently now 8th. He's working his way up. You'll see him out there in that 34 Ford trying to march his way back up to the front. He has gained only 1 position here so far, as Cal Lovell is dropped from 5th down to 7th. That was already a couple there for him and William Page as well, starting 3rd down into 5th. So it looked like he didn't like the line he had to take right at the beginning, and it's going to start him off pretty rough at the beginning of this race.
All the drivers will be staying single file action. It was for right now, but here comes Luke Smith. He's trying to look to the inside of Austin Hakes for 3rd.
All right now Hakes doing a great job out there in the 28 Toyota. A solid pass there by Luke Smith is able to make that cut. As right now we are sitting here with Austin Hakes almost sitting off the side door here. Looking up top as Luke Smith is getting the Mountain Dew machine away. He is currently the fastest one out there on the track, but can that last forever? We have 3 laps complete, starting lap number 4, diving into turn number 1 here. Looks like the 49 of Scott Fleener gets marched to the outside. Looks like the Case Tractor Machine is not going to be able to hang on to him here. But Austin Hakes deciding to stick with another playoff driver and seeing if he can take a little draft off the rear end of that truck to see if he can help him get a solid run to the front. Luke Smith looks like he had a line on him through turn number 2, and then he's going to have to dial it back just a little bit here as these guys are beginning to really clump together and start chasing. Sid North already working up to now 7th, a little slower gaining than the rest of our playoff drivers, but no, nonetheless, he is still getting up there. Austin Hakes in trouble, though, still on the bottom as Scott Fleener slices to the outside of him and is once again trying to regain 3rd. That he was in there for just a moment. So Douglas right now, knock. There it is.
That was some contact between Scott Fleener and Austin Hakes. He's almost had his door taken off with that one. And right now, sitting there trying to gain a position as well as William Page, as he's sitting right behind Hakes watching all the action.
Yeah, wondering how in the world they're going to come up with any kind of an idea of who's going to make a breakaway. Hennessy is holding out in front by only about 1/4 of a second. Luke Smith has gotten away, and they are starting to break away from the rest of the pack. This is exactly what they wanted, and if Hennessy can do it and stay out front, this is going to be beautiful for him to continue this race. But so early into the race, I don't see this lasting forever. Hakes rotating there to the outside as we take a look off the back of Luke Smith's Chevrolet, and Hakes still having some trouble, and I think that cost him a couple of positions here. And as now Fleener's gotten out front, and he battles out there with William Page to the outside. So the Mellow Yellow Machine looking to bust his door in just a little more there. I still think it's not in the shape of a U, so he may be dealing with some more damage here momentarily.
Momentarily, yes, and it looks like William Page, he is going to clear Austin Hakes for spot number 4. So Hakes will settle back into spot number 5, but here comes Cam Barnes trying to break it to the top 5 as we have a caution out on the racetrack.
Yep, caution is out. Taking a look, Hen Bordeaux and everybody's A-OK. Not quite sure what happened out there. Not seeing any damaged trucks, though. All right, well, we'll take a look starting from the back of the field here. Who in the world was that? I'm trying to think. I think that may have been our new driver, Mr. Richard Joplin here. Let's take a look. Yep. Boy, that was enough to cause a caution.
Interesting.
Yep. First caution here of the night. And it looked like Noah Joyce and Richard Joplin got in it. So a couple of guys are deciding to come down in the pit. Everybody except our top 5. Which oddly enough, Austin Hakes is our only playoff driver who decided to come down pit road. Looks like a splash and go for him, so he's looking to try a little bit different strategy out there. I like the call. Most did not take tires. Noah Joyce looks like he did. 18.62 seconds here. And Cam Barnes, 9.6. So, Douglas, fuel and go for most everybody out here. And if you're in the back, why not?
If you're in the back, why not? Might as well come down for a quick fuel and go. But with our one driver of Austin Hakes, of our top 4 championship drivers, him topping off with fuel, never know. Now he's 10 laps to the good ahead of the top 5. So, going to be a very interesting call.
Yeah, could it be offset pitting here later in this race? I think so. This might be able to stretch him somewhere around that that 32 to 40 mark, while everybody else continues fighting on out there and trying to be somebody. Blake Trawick an extended amount of time in the pit box, 38.55 seconds, and Richie, who is the driver involved in the 08 Valvoline Chevrolet, just about a minute even on his pit stop. So this does give another opportunity for our playoff drivers to mush each other back together. Hakes did come in for fuel, and he'll be starting right next to Garrett Sidnor, really for that 5th position. Hennessy and Luke Smith are now going to get together, so their breakaway of over half a second there is erased in the blink of an eye. Got to say, we do not see a different crush flavor out there. We're going straight for the dew. Luke Smith, he'll be starting on the outside here. Let's see if this idiot who is given a steering wheel has a go with this. Right now he's got to time this one. How did he not time it? Luke Smith will be starting here, hoping to hang on to second as Scott Fleener's getting the line to the inside. Luke Smith, a little turn exit speed, and I believe that is going to be William Page is going to follow him. Yes, he is. Page is going to hold Fleener down to the bottom as Hakes and Sidnor are sitting right behind, getting ready to attack. Waiting to see if Fleener can make a mistake. Let's rotate back to Davey Hazard here. Hazard in some trouble as he's working to fight his way back up to the front.
Hazard, one of those guys trying to have a good night as he's doing battle with Cal Lovall for the number 9 slot, I believe it is. And another driver that's advancing through the field is Cam Barnes. He's currently on the side of Darrell Harris, and now he's on the side of Austin Hakes.
Yeah, Barnes has been on the move here as of late. I definitely expected to see that. Started 8th here in this race, looking to see if he can slice back up to the front a little bit closer. But once again, I think a battle for the lead getting ready to heat up here as Luke Smith has been getting closer and closer and closer here to Andrew Hennessy. Hennessy wants to get a little more of a gap here, but notice he is starting to back up this turn just a little bit as we take a look off the back bumper here of Andrew Hennessy. Looks like you might have gotten a nudge there as the camera seems to be bent a little bit. I don't know if Luke Smith was getting ready to rearrange Mr. Hennessy here. Be a tough call here. Already looking at the way this is. Hennessy looks like he's a lot heavier into the turn.
Right now, the battle is also heating up for the number 5 slot as we're watching that up here. Cam Barnes currently on the side of Garrett Sidnor. Barnes with the inside having the advantage. Sidnor will settle back into spot number 6.
3 non-playoff drivers separate our 4 guys here in the top 10. Pretty tough night here so far. For Austin Hakes and Garrett Sidnor. Right now, Sidnor has been, unfortunately, he is working his way up, but Hakes is falling back. Sidnor up 3, Hakes down 3. But already, the highest one who did come in on lap number 9 is Cam Barnes, who pit for a 9.6 second stop. So about 3 seconds slower than everybody else who was down there on the at pit lane at the dismal 45 miles an hour that it is. And Cam Barnes starting to run these guys down. Let's take a look at his speed out there. Currently 150 miles an hour and gaining.
according to times, Cam Barnes is the fastest out on the track right now.
Yeah, but is that going to be short-lived here? I'm wondering, with 9.6 seconds, if Cam Barnes ended up taking a set of right sides. But speaking of right side, that's going to be Scott Fleener to his right side. And almost in the rearview mirror, I think Barnes is going to try to set him up here and finish this pass. And finally get around him, and he does.
While we're watching that battle, there's actually a good battle going on back here. It was for the number 10 slot between Cal Lovell and Davey Hazard, but Lovell still holding on to the number 10 slot.
Yeah, Lovell seems to capitalize and get out of that situation. We rotate back to Hen Bordeaux. Bordeaux around the Richie Joplin area. This is around the battle for 13th. They're starting to try to work a little bit there on each other. John Peterson now takes a look to the inside of Hen Bordeaux. Oddly far enough back. Darren Ingram, 54 Toyota. Tough race here so far. I would love to see a possible league that takes your playoff drivers and has them not qualify to start in the back. I think I might make it interesting.
Looks like everybody is pretty much staying single file throughout the field. No action, really. Like we have a battle heating up for the number 3 slot. It was heating up. Cam Barnes is still trying to make the moves on William Page for the number 3 spot, trying to gain to a podium position.
Yeah, Barnes has been on the move here as of late, looking for number 5 spot gained here tonight. See, man, nice slider there. Up and in front of William Page's number 42 Ford, making a 1-2-3 Chevrolet show here tonight. Continuing on, great job here by Barnes. And now Barnes, I believe, yes, has about half a second before he can end up catching our leader of Andrew Hennessy. Starting to get a couple separation points along the track here. The 8th place on back. Hakes is leading, is at the tail end. And then we have to look back. There was a second before we can find Davey Hazard, who did end up overtaking Cal Lovell out here.
Right now, we do have a change for the number 2 slot as Cam Barnes managed to successfully pass Luke Smith. So Smith will settle back into spot number 3 right now. William Page sits 4th, and a battle for 5th spot between Garrett Sidnor and Scott Fleener.
Fleener had a hot lap during qualifying, but is not transferring over to the race here. Fleener now down to 7th. That's 5 lost on the night. The 49 machine may be falling back now, but I think any Scott Fleener fans out there are definitely kind of rally capping right now to see if maybe he's just tire conserving while these guys are driving like banshees out there early in this race. 25 laps almost complete here as Garrett Sidnor sits 6th. Cam Barnes starting to reel in our leader of Andrew Hennessy, and I think we might see a new leader here in a couple of laps.
Only in a couple of laps as we got looks like a pass going for the lead right now. Here comes Cam Barnes coming to the inside of Andrew Hennessy, but Hennessy, he still wants that top spot, but Cam Barnes is not letting him go so easy.
Yeah, Cam Barnes has been on a tear here. I thought they were going to make a little bit of contact. It looks like Barnes is taking a look, almost has it. Is he going to have to turn exit speed? To give it to Hennessy, not going down and trying to pinch him. He is letting him race, but I think Hennessy knows that may be the faster line out here. And Barnes out front. It looks like Hennessy scrubs the wall just a little bit. And the first lead change here of the night.
Cam Barnes is now officially our new leader. Andrew Hennessy is in spot number 2. Luke Smith sitting at spot number 3. William Page Sitting back in spot number 4. And rounding out the top 5 is Noah Joyce. Good run for the 31 tonight.
Yeah, no kidding. Joyce gaining a handful out there as he gets up into the top 5. Some guys moving up, some moving down. None really, not too many are just kind of sitting still out there. But Andrew Hennessy is trying to keep Cam Barnes close. Doesn't want him running away with this. Cam Barnes did come down into pit back on lap number 9. So we were talking about fuel being 10 laps to the good. But this is also laps, fuel 10 laps to the good and in the lead. So right now he can put a lot of distance on our racers out here. But is he going to do it? Or is he going to hang back and just try to conserve until it's time to pit, seeing this so early in this race?
Definitely still early in this race indeed, but we are going to be coming around point to where we're probably going to be seeing green flag pit stops soon, as we are going to be hitting lap number 30 going up in lights.
Oh man, you say that, that's going to be awfully close. And when pit stops have to start happening, that's where everybody bunches up down on pit road, and we may see some guys getting some damage. Fortunately, we have not ended up back under caution as of yet. Only one so far here tonight. Then ended up getting a couple of guys out there. Just a game of a matter of inches. Those two just unfortunately clipped. But that, ooh, there we go. That's what I was trying to figure out. Who is that? Garrett Sidnor at first taker.
Definitely, the strategy is going to be coming into play because a lot of these guys did come back down during that caution. So they are 10 laps to the good. Our one playoff driver, Austin Hakes, you could probably expect to see him out there a little longer, but I think our top 5 currently aren't on the same strategy.
Yeah, no, they are not. Cam Barnes came in on 9. And Noah Joyce did as well and Hakes. So Andrew Hennessy is going to have to pit here very soon. And I think that's why we see him almost sucking the tailpipe there of Cam Barnes, trying to see if he could save any more fuel before he does have to come down, trying to see if he can elongate his stint here. Does not seem to be working out as we see Hennessy starting to fall off a little bit here. Interesting to see Hennessy is not having to clutch it in here to get around these turns. Garrett Sidnor is currently only a lap down here. He's sitting 17th. Something tells me he is trying another kind of pit strategy, and I was wondering at a race where it ends like this, yep, it's going to be strategy. Don't know if it's going to be all racing skill out there. Just these guys have got to figure out when and when not to pit. We've seen many races won and lost by pit stops and their timing. Garrett Sidnor and his crew chief have determined that he did need to come in on lap number 30 for 4 tires and fuel. What does everybody else do?
Probably expect some of these drivers to not even go full throttle, as they could be trying to conserve as much fuel as they possibly can to extend it. I think the drivers that currently came in on that lap 10 caution, they're not going to be going easy whatsoever, as they do have 10 more laps to the good than some of our other drivers.
Late race here tonight, yet everybody's still churning some laps away. I think this may be a little tricky out here, though. Let's see how this continues on. This is Scott Fleener down on the bottom side of Austin Hakes, as Hakes looks like he's going to be marching back. And William Page heading down pit road.
looks like William Page will be the only driver coming down on this segment of the race.
Yep, still working to his pit box, so I think that's the heartbreaker. Still waiting for him to get in the pit box. There we go. All right.
Oh, and here comes one of our answers right now. Here comes Luke Smith down pit road.
Yep, Luke Smith, our next playoff driver to join pit road. Was able to get about 30 laps there. Does separate our front two by almost 4.5 seconds from the rest of the field here, so that is Douglas, it really takes the wind out of your sails, but when Andrew Hennessy comes down pit road, it's almost a sigh of relief that Cam Barnes now has a huge separation over anybody who can touch him.
Andrew Hennessy is currently down pit road now.
Interesting to see these pit stops are really only going 1-by-1s out here. Instead of, 4 or 5 guys all at the same time, all on the same team.
Scott Fleener coming down pit road. Also Hen Bordeaux.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, let's rotate back up front. Cam Barnes is still putting distance on the rest of the field, almost up to 5 seconds now. Garrett Sidnor walks it on by. 4 tires and fuel back on lap number 30. Go ahead and take a look back here at Blake Trawick, who's currently sitting 6th. Inside is Luke Smith. Smith starting to use up that rubber already. Trawick does put Ingram into the rear view, moving him up to 6th. Still pushing around. It's impressive to see the guys who are on the fresh tires trying to get their lead laps back.
Still do have a lot of drivers currently out right now, as a lot of these drivers that are still currently out are right now on that lap 10 caution strategy.
Yeah, good call. Would say that they may be able. Drivers like Garrett Sidnor came in on 30, 60, and then he's going to be very close at the end. Guys that came in 10 laps later, if they are able to stretch it out, where you see they were at least a lap 45, our halfway point of this race. From 30, or excuse me, from 9, should put us about that 40 to, 30 to 35 lap range. And then I think, give or take, they might be able to make it to the end. I think they're mostly looking for a one-stop pit, if they can. But these guys have been doing a lot of conservation out there to try to offset some of the wear that this concrete track is starting to put on these trucks. Garrett Sidnor now working underneath the number 7 of Cam Barnes. And that should get him back onto the lead lap.
So Sidnor is back on the lead lap as Andrew Hennessy goes by Barnes. So Hennessy will be back on the lead lap.
Now, it just goes to show you what kind of, what kind of strategy these guys do. One, two, if it was a good time to pit. And if that strategy is going to work here at Nashville. All right, everybody, we're going to cut away here to a crank it up section here. And try to find some of your favorite drivers as we cycle through them there just a little bit. And we're going to knock out some of these technical bugs that we got hanging around in the background. So go ahead and crank it up. We'll return probably, unless there is a caution, probably about that lap 56, 57 mark, all right? Alrighty, everybody. You're coming back here, so go ahead and turn it back down. That way I don't blast out your eardrums. We are under green flag still on lap 59 out of 90. Andrew Hennessy does have the lead with Luke Smith sitting second, and William Page is third. Not bad here from William Page, at least getting back to his original qualifying position, but this 1.33 mile track is getting tougher and tougher on these drivers, and the strategy is extremely critical here. Right now, Hennessy is out front by 3.5 seconds over the rest of the field here, and it goes farther and farther beyond that. Right now, it almost seems a joke here that the top 5 is almost 13.5 seconds spread apart between Hennessy, Smith, Page, Sidnor, and Cam Barnes. So Hennessy looking to put on a clinic here and come away with the win. Now, these drivers, even in real life here at Nashville, last time they actually raced here was back in 2011, and then ended up not chasing the sanctions out there for NASCAR to come back and race for 2012. But you wouldn't believe it. You know, in June of 2020, a little piece of information, in June of 2020, the Cup Series was actually set a date back in 2021 to bring it back here to the Nashville Super Speedway, and they have been racing here ever since. And not only the Cup Series, but actually all three of them out there, the Craftsman Truck Series, the Gander Outdoor Series, the Xfinity Series was out here racing, and the Cup cars. So you can see how a lot of these guys should be pretty well acquainted to this track and have been used to doing it here, but seems a little worse for the wear for some drivers out there. I would say Garrett Sidnor is right now the playoff driver who is not having the time of his life out here tonight in Douglas. Garrett Sidnor is sitting right now dead last and a lap down. How does this guy bounce back?
It's a really good question to find out. Of course, while we were away, Garrett Sidnor did actually make another green flag pit stop. Remember, he is probably the one out of, I think, 5 drivers that are on a different strategy that did not pit under that caution. So Sidnor and a couple others will be pitting early, but expect to see some of these drivers extend more on fuel.
Yep, well, they're going to have to. They're going to have to. We were talking a little bit during that Crank It Up session behind the scenes here for just a little bit. And we were saying, you know, track temperatures hasn't changed much here in Lebanon, Tennessee, where these guys are still maintaining a pretty decent time out there. I know William Page was able to break underneath the 30-second mark for the amount of speed he was able to put down. But right now, currently, he's sitting at 31.22 out there. So it's a hair of a bit of fall off, about a second. Seeing that his tires have been on there since lap 36. So he's about to come across that 30 here on those tires. And it's going to be pretty tough to see how that kind of plays out. Look who is taking over the lead here as Andrew Hennessy is coming down. 25 laps to go. I think he's realized he's not going to make it on fuel here. And Douglas, remember I said we were talking a little bit during the Crank It Up session. Does Austin Hakes still have the winning strategy here?
Very well could be. Remember, Austin Hakes is the only playoff driver that pit under that lap 10 caution. So he is going to have 10 laps better on fuel than Andrew Hennessy, Luke Smith, and Garrett Sidnor. So Hakes could have the playing strategy here. It depends if he can even make it. As long as we don't have another caution, I think Austin Hakes is sitting in good shape.
Yeah. Well, definitely a flag change would ruin it. If you're Austin Hakes and you have to come down, you know, is there a problem? I would hope he doesn't have to come down. If he is able to stretch it out, he only needs 39 laps. And we saw some of these guys stretching it out to 40. So right now, Austin Hakes has got to be on his game here. Right now, I believe the difference, taking a look at my timer here, Andrew Hennessy, I think it's sitting about 20 seconds back from Austin Hakes before he catches him here. Right now, Hakes is our top dog out there. And all the rest of our playoff drivers are a lap down. Talk about wild. Cal Lovell, though, did come in on lap 51 as well, and Blake Traywick came down on lap 50. So all the drivers currently sitting in front here of Austin Hakes should have enough fuel to make it as well.
Of course, once again, when it comes to the 4 playoff drivers, it's pretty much whoever is the highest finisher out of those playoff drivers is declared the champion, I want to say. So right now, Austin Hakes is sitting in the best position out of the playoff drivers.
Yep, William Page, our leader, is coming on down. That's going to help cut away some of the lead or some of the fallback that these guys are having. That allowed Hennessy, Luke Smith, and Garrett Sidnor to get back onto the lead lap here. So that's pretty huge for these guys to try to turn it around. And we'll talk a little bit about Austin Hakes here. Looking back, timing on these guys, about 18.5 seconds before Andrew Hennessy can find him. About 21.5 for Luke Smith to find him. And 23.5 for Garrett Sidnor to find him. So right now, Garrett Sidnor is looking up and hoping this is going to go a lot better out there. And Hakes is just trying to fuel conserve. I would wonder if also Austin Hakes may be clutching it. That way he can try to make dang sure he's got enough, or at least a gallon here to the end. If we go under caution, he'll be able to save fuel, but all this lead is going to get washed away. And they'll be the ones ending up on new tires, catching him here. So Hakes under a lot of pressure right now, as Hennessy has now cut it to within 16.5 seconds behind him. Right now, I think Austin Hakes couldn't think this one could end soon enough.
Right now, currently, our leader is Cam Barnes. Al Lovell is second, Blake Traywick third, Austin Hakes, playoff driver, in spot number 4, and Noah Joyce trying to pick up a top 5 finish for him.
Noah Joyce has been fighting that car around most here of the night. As Davey Hazard looks like he's trying to reel him down out there in the number 2 Toyota. Cal Lovell is now in the second, only 2.2, 2.3 behind our leader. May need to calm down Cam Barnes. I don't know if he's got enough fuel to make it. And we were already talking about guys making it 40 laps, teetering on the edge. Cam Barnes is going to try to cut it a little bit closer. He came in on lap number 49, and I think he might be thinking he has got this thing in the bag here, that he is out just far enough to make something of it. All right, taking a look back at Austin Hakes again. Hennessy only 14.3 off his rear bumper now. 16 to go.
I can tell you what, Austin Hakes, he is probably watching very closely in his rearview mirror, as Andrew Hennessy, he is gaining on him little bit by little bit. So the one thing that Austin Hakes does not want to see right now is a caution.
Yeah, we've seen wilder things happen. New tires out there, old tires out there. Each of them making a different move to cause trouble. But we're going to hope not for that. Barnes still hanging in the lead. Let's check back in on Hakes, who's only 12.87 out of Andrew Hennessy. Hennessy's starting to feel this one, starting to slip away on him. 15 laps left to go. All right, now Andrew Hennessy is running a 30.31, and Austin Hakes running a 31.13. Got to do a little more than 7/10 of a lap running them down. Still, a second gained is not bad at all.
It's going to be very, very close. I can tell you that between Austin Hakes and Andrew Hennessy, it's going to be very close when it comes to the end.
wonder how it gets out there. You've got 13 laps left to go. Just over a mile and a quarter out there. And how these guys are starting to feel. Their heart pounding out of their chest. They are this close. Is he losing positions? Is he not able to reel him in here? Right now, this is huge. Austin Hakes. Very close. Cam Barnes still remains in the lead, though. Don't want to count him out here for Nashville. We still have our normal racers and then our playoff drivers.
Looks like Austin Hakes, he's going to try and gain a position as he's going to go past Blake Trawick for the number 3 slot. Austin Hakes will take over the number 3 slot. Trawick will go to spot number 4. It looks like we have a battle for the number 5 spot between Davey Hazard and Darren Ingram.
Yeah, right now that should be Ingram passing here to the inside. Not bad there, full clear. Oh, Ingram gets a little loose coming out of the turn. I think he's starting to tick these off. 11 laps left to go. A couple other things we're noticing that Barnes has able to make a solid separation here on Cal Lovell. By at least a second, Austin Hakes has now moved up to 3rd. Gets around Blake Trawick. I think right now he's pretty nervous. Seeing that Hennessy has broken under. About a 9-second hold back. He would need to gain a second per lap to catch Austin Hakes here. Man. And we were talking about upsets earlier. And this you would think the winner would look a lot different.
And Andrew Hennessy, he's going to be dealing with some traffic in a little bit, so that's going to probably hold him up.
Yeah, I've always thought whether that would be a feasible issue out there. If there's anything causing trouble out there, you know, for these guys to fight their way up to the front. And I just see this one ticking away. And Hennessy can't get anything here. Unless it's a caution. He is well without out of striking distance as he cuts it down to 7.5 seconds now.
Currently right now, Cam Barnes still is leading, but looks like Cam Barnes is going to have some company in a little bit because Cal Lovell has managed to track him down. We could be seeing a battling heat up for the lead here.
Yeah, Lovell finally sending it in there. The K&N filter machine. Number 5 Ford has been really rolling here so far. He was able to slice off 2/10 that last lap. Getting up there on Cam Barnes. Sure, Barnes would love to still be in the chase here, but unfortunately has not been able, was not able to get the go through on to the next round. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, 5 laps left to go here at the Track and Turf Champ Thursday. As Austin Hakes is our top dog out there in the playoffs. Hennessy is looking to see if he can keep rolling through here as he sits 7th. Right now there's Daryl Harris and Noah Joyce currently sitting in front of him. And Davey Hazard. Excuse me. Davey Hazard and Darren Ingram currently sitting in front of him. Right now, 9.72 seconds. He's still got to make up 6.5 to catch Austin Hakes. And right now, Hennessy is really speeding up. Right now, I think you should be scratching your head a little bit how in the world this guy is able to actually pick up pace later in the run with worn-out tires. Hennessy did take tires back on lap 65. I wonder if he's booty himself because he took tires, and he is starting to reel in Austin Hakes. Still stuck at 6.5. These guys are blocking him up. Hennessy doesn't have anything for him. 3 laps left to go. Still all Cam Barnes race, as he still remains out front with Cal Lovell only a quarter of a second behind.
Cal Lovell still hanging there in the shadows. It looks like he scraped the wall a little bit coming out of turn number 4 on the front straightaway.
Oh, what?
Right now, and right now, if I was Austin Hakes, oh man, he's probably smiling like crazy.
The key is not to make your mistakes now, as Hennessy has fought up to the 5th spot. This should be it. White flag this time by. Hennessy so close here. As Lovell taking a look. Hennessy only 5.86 seconds off of Austin Hakes. Hakes trying to hold on to it. I'd be talking to Blake Traywick there of, hey, if you want to pass, just go ahead and pass me. Do not touch me. There you go. His little Emperor's New Groove. No touchy. No touch. All right, Cam Barnes. Great job here, able to keep off Cal Lovell. So here is your 1 and 2 as Cam Barnes comes away with the win. And Austin Hakes sitting 4th. Gets away with it. Look at that. I think Hennessy was about 5.4 seconds off pace from coming away with that one. Holy cow. Luke Smith ended up placing 9th. Sidnor was 13th. Holy cow, Austin Hakes gets it. Wow, that is amazing. All right, well, we'll run into Blake Traywick here in a little bit as these guys are getting knocked down. Great job out there by all of our drivers. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll take a look at our final results screen and where these guys ended up as Austin Hakes finishes in 4th. And will end up winning the championship. So congratulations to Austin Hakes out there. We'll talk to him here in a little bit. I want to get through our top 3 here, as this is excellent here for Austin Hakes. This guy's got to be screaming. Great job. All right, guys, hold on, and we'll see if we can get him ready.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are catching up to our third place finisher, Blake Treywick. Uh, Blake, let me tell you, you were really moving through the field, and and I say that with emphasis. Tell us, how'd your race go overall?
We had a lot to bounce back from. We had a little bit of internet work in the beginning there, and it gave us about a minute of damage. So we were very underpowered for that run. But that caution came out at a very convenient time for a fuel strategy to play into the fact. So we saved just enough in the udders to make it to the end there.
It definitely was a strategy call. You were probably one of the many drivers that ended up coming into this strategy. I'm pretty sure a lot of people weren't expecting a caution tonight, but definitely played out into a lot of people. Tell us, is there anything that you could have done different to maybe catch down the leaders?
Uh, the damage. If we didn't have that damage, we probably would have been a little bit better. But we were way underpowered in the engine, so we're just doing everything we could to at least try to get a good finish. Which we still managed to get third at least, right? I think like 1/1000th there. It's pretty close.
It was very close indeed. Any shout outs that you want to give out on your third place finish tonight?
Week in, week out, this league. I wish I was here sooner to run the whole season, but I'll definitely be back next season. Obviously, you guys up here in the broadcast put on a really good show. All the drivers tonight, pretty clean race, splashing good graphics.
Definitely, we are trying to get more people to join the league, and definitely we'll be glad to see you back next season. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Blake Treywick, your third place finisher. Patrick, we'll take it to you.
All right, Blake Treywick, awesome job there. As he looks like he hoofed it out just right in front of Austin Hakes and was able to come away with the third place finish. Cal Lovell was unfortunately not able to redeem his season one win here at Nashville, but was still ended up coming in second. So, Cal, talk to me about this race, dude. What a wild race it was, and pretty calm and collected out there.
For sure, Patrick. First off, I want to say thanks to John Peterson and K&N and Ford for helping this team out all season long, and we look forward to bringing it back next season. Um, Whenever that first caution hit, lap 8, I kind of figured it'd be a fuel strategy race at that point, so we just took we filled the fuel can up, and we didn't take any tires, but uh, you know, I saved enough to make it halfway through the run to split the run in half, and yeah, we made it to the end, but we just fell short. Um, just the truck started pushing a lot towards the end of the run, and couldn't do much about it.
It did look like you were running down Cam Barnes there for just a moment. It looked like you tried to give it a last-ditch effort to come away with the win. Yeah, a little bit of fuel strategy out there, especially with the caution, but you got to be pretty happy that we weren't caution ridden tonight, so we weren't very sick out there on the track. You guys at least got some green flag racing, but would you have preferred it being more side-by-side or kind of follow the leader and set people up?
I prefer a clean track, to be honest. I mean, it was side by side for the first run, and it was a struggle to get. It was a struggle to pass cars on the inside. So once we got past that, I was pretty much smooth sailing from that point on. Um, but I don't know. I just feel like dirty air prevailed, clean air prevailed for Cam. I don't know if that was the case, but he certainly was the fastest car at the end of the race, and he deserved that.
Yeah, awesome job here. All right, Cal, you're one of our admins out there, and can you give us a little hint as what we've got coming up for the track and turf series, what's going on with the Cup series, and any changes that might be coming up?
Yeah, well, this signals the end of the truck series for season 5. Uh, with that, we're moving the Cup series from Saturday to Thursday nights. So if you all like to join, come out and join us. We would love to have anybody.
Cool. All right, man. Not too crazy, not too much of a change, but just enough to keep it interesting. All right, Cal,
For
go
sure.
ahead and give me you have any more shout outs other than the paint job out there, or you got any people out here watching you?
I got to thank John Peterson again. I mean, he's the one that always paints my trucks and cars, and I appreciate him very much.
All right, Cal.
And I appreciate you all too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, not a problem, buddy. Not a problem. I'll be excited to see you guys get back in the Cup cars and try to kill each other again. We'll see how it goes on next Thursday, buddy. Congratulations on your second place finish.
Thank you, Patrick.
All right, everybody. That is the number 5 Ford coming in to the number 2 spot. Moving on to Cam Barnes. And Douglas, I'm going to say I told you so. What did I tell you? I said there's going to be an upset out here, and I called the number 7 of Cam Barnes coming in for the win. You did it. Excellent choice out there, especially with how the pit strategy went out there. I've got to ask, lap 49 is when you came in, 4 tires and fuel. How close were you, seeing you were one of the first ones about that lap 50 mark to pit?
I ran out after the start-finish line.
Excellent.
Yeah, I got it perfect. So, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't realize the first run there, it was that close. So managed to get it to 49, pitted, and then yeah, once he got out, it was basically fuel safe from there. Once I realized that, hey, we have a chance here, and it turned out to be just enough. I think I looked when I crossed the line. I think I had 0.1 of a gallon. So just running on fumes there across the start-finish line.
I was wondering why no burnouts out there for you here tonight. Apparently there just wasn't enough in the tank, man. But definitely, I would say a heartbreaker seeing that eliminated from the playoffs early here in the run, man. But definitely you were able to come away with it in Nashville. What could have been done different here for you to be coming away with the championship?
Just execution, some of the races, avoidable incidents for sure. Probably could have changed everything. I mean, getting eliminated on a tie was not fun with Austin at Martinsville. So it happens, but basically my whole philosophy changed, and I went for the win here. So worked out. Probably would have not happened if I had been in it. Probably would have played it safe, but yeah, just going for it. Took 2 tires there on that caution. Was able to run up and pass everybody and take the lead. So a lot of fun here. Final time in this beautiful WWEX truck. So gonna put that one in the barn. So yeah, a lot of fun tonight. A lot of really appreciated all the people that came out and all the people all season, and the champion Austin. Congrats to him. I wish things would have went differently and I would have been in it and obviously would have won the title, but it was okay. I'll take a win to end the season after how bad I'd end up running all year. So yeah, no big deal.
All right, Cam Barnes. Well, the number 7 Chevrolet comes in for the win here, just barely making it on fuel. Excellent win here to get the end. Last question before I get your shout outs, kind of for your sponsors, anybody out here watching you. Would you prefer to be in the trucks or do you prefer to be in the Cup cars?
There are some tracks I prefer the trucks, but I really enjoy running the Cup cars, Xfinity or B-class car.
Yep.
A lot of fun. Cars move around a little bit more, and they're typically a little looser than these things. So yeah, I enjoy it a lot. So yeah, glad the trucks are over. Now I can fully focus on Cup, coming off the win, Chicagoland. So hopefully this Saturday we'll do well, and then moving to Thursdays after that. So
all righty. Well, we'll definitely hold our breath and see if you can continue your hot streak here. Definitely, I'm sure you don't want to see that end too soon. Cam, go ahead and give me shout outs, man. I'm sure you got people out here watching you, and talk to me about the Worldwide Express there on the truck.
Just want to thank everybody, the Barnes Racing Enterprise, John Peterson Racing Group. Hell of a season. We had 2 trucks in the top 4. Fortunately, it didn't work out this time around, but we'll go get them next time. And all the guys really found their stride there late at the end. So next season of trucks, I think we'll all be championship contenders, which would be awesome. Big thanks to admins and everybody who run this. Big thanks to you guys for broadcasting this, and anybody watching. Appreciate it. So
oh yeah,
yeah, It's fun to end on a win. Hopefully we can get more of these.
Yep. And we've always been inviting people out here. Guys, if you think you can, if you're out there watching, you think you can take on Cam Barnes and do better than he can, there's nothing stopping you from joining the USORL series. Cam Barnes, congratulations on your on the race win, the final one here of the season, and we'll catch you over there with the Cup Series.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yep. All righty, everybody. Cam Barnes. That's going to do it for him. Moving on. I know, oddly enough, moving on to Austin Hakes. And I would say, Austin, congratulations here on a fantastic season. What an excellent race here toward the end. Were you biting your nails at the end with Andrew Hennessy coming on hot?
Yeah, I was. Honestly, though, I was more worried. I was just praying we didn't have a caution, man. Like, I knew what my fuel situation was. Andrew kind of slowed down the last, I don't know, 10 laps or so. I was like, my pace is good. Just cannot have a caution. And you know how these things go. You see it in NASCAR, you see it on iRacing. It's just, man, 1 or 2 laps to go, caution all the time. So I was just praying there wasn't one.
Yeah, I think even in the real truck series, I think they said if it goes any more than 30 to 45 laps, they throw a caution and bunch everybody back together just to create more havoc. Austin, man, all right. Word through the grapevine and through a vote, you were not the favorite to win. Andrew Hennessy was, yet you outsmart him with the championship win. You know, I mean, just an insane call to come in on lap 9. It's an early caution. You know, why? What made you say, you know what, I'm gonna pit?
Yeah, you're right. I wasn't the definitely wasn't the favorite. Going into the race though, I was sitting there on the grid and I was thinking to myself, we could get about 39 laps of fuel on a tank. The race is 90 laps. You know, you're a couple laps short. You're gonna have to save. And I wasn't planning on saving fuel if it went green the entire way. I think that was too much. You would have lost too much time. But I was thinking if, you know, we've seen it at Homestead. You get an early caution, you know, come down, top off on fuel, you might be able to make it. That's what we get. What I did, we got the caution on lap 8, I think, at the end of 8. I just came down. I didn't take tires just because I didn't know if we were gonna have a caution. I wanted to, you know, if it turns into a wreck fest or something, you need the tires, right? So I took the fuel, and I wouldn't say I saved the first run that much until the end. Like, my pace was off. I kind of burnt out my tires, to be honest with you. But at the end of that first run before I pit, I was like heavy saving, and I had saved enough that I could basically run my race the entire second run. And so I made a mistake at Rockingham saving fuel, and I knew I couldn't do that again if I wanted to win this race.
And awesome job here to outwit almost the entire field here and watch these guys attempt to run you down. Truck Series does come to an end, though. And are you excited about moving on to the Cup Series, or are you going to be missing the trucks?
Man, I tell you what, coming into the season, I wasn't the biggest fan of the trucks. I was more of an Xfinity car kind of guy, but I don't know. There's something about the trucks. I really like how the new truck handles. Not so much handles, but you know, the dirty air. Before it was like full throttle everywhere almost, and until the end of the race. And yeah, I like what they did to the front end of the car or the truck. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna race on. Well, I guess now Thursdays. The Xfinity series is moving to Thursdays now, but I'm definitely gonna be grinding away on that one too. So.
All right, for anybody out here watching you, and including your sponsors, what words of advice do you have for anybody who wants to come out here and race with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, just give it your best shot. You know, like, not everybody's great. Not everybody is. You know, Andrew was the class of the field all season long, right? Him and Eric Sable. and sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and that was what I had tonight. But if you're out there and want to race, like, it's a great group of guys. Like, we had one caution tonight. I mean, 17 people. Obviously, car count like dwindled a little bit this season, and we're trying to get that back up. Maybe close to 30s again. We started off with like 30s, and it just dwindled down. And some of that's probably just due to the nature of the playoffs, right? Like, people don't want to race. It's not really worth it to them if they're not in the hunt, right? But I think even if you're new, or we welcome anybody to race here. So just come in, turn some laps. If you have fun, that's all it is, right? Just have fun and do your best.
Says the champion. Sure.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, I'm sure that's got a good ring to it. Austin Hakes, the champion here of the Track and Turf Truck Series. Congratulations, man. Go ahead and give me the shout outs of the sponsors on the car and the people out here watching you.
Yeah, I just want to shout out my iRacing team, Outlier Speed Co. They helped me out a lot, just learning different things and how to be a better driver in general. Doesn't always show, but we try. I want to shout out all the guys at USORL. We had a really good season, I think, and the last couple races have been bad for me, but I'm glad that tonight was a good representation of the league with just the one caution, and everybody was racing clean. You know how like championship races can get kind of messy with wrecks and stuff like that. A lot of stuff can go wrong, and I'm glad that none of that happened tonight. So I want to shout out everybody at USORL, all the admins, Davey, Darren, Noah, all them guys, and shout you guys out. You guys did a great job this season. We look forward to working with you in the future. It's really great to have you guys, and you guys do a wonderful job.
All right, Austin Hicks, appreciate you, buddy. Congratulations on a well-fought season here, and you definitely come away with the championship. And I'm excited to see what the number 28 can do here for the remainder, if not the continuing and following seasons upcoming. All right, buddy. Good luck to you, and enjoy your celebration out there.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, Douglas. So we come away with another winner out there. Cam Barnes here at Nashville, winning it, and Austin Hakes being the champion here of the Track and Turf Truck Series. Excellent race here tonight, guys. Definitely, I bet you didn't see that one coming all the way from a mile away. Definitely some crazy stuff going on out there, and guys moving, flossing, trying to figure out how to get their way up to the front, and it just takes a little bit of pit strategy, and here we are. So Austin Hakes, what a fantastic job, and congratulations to him to coming away with the season win and becoming the champion here. All right, Douglas, anything left to add?
Nothing really much to add. The Truck Series comes to an end, and we're not done with the Cup Series. We're still in the beginning of that, so stay tuned. You don't want to miss the action in the Cup Series.
All right, well, we're all going to be holding our breath as watch out there for the streams or any changes I've got going on to make sure you guys are up to date and ready for the next run for the USORL series to kick off and get back to it. Also on Tuesday nights, we'll have the Bandit Racing League. Those guys will be ready to go. And Douglas, I expect to see you back onto the track there on Wednesday nights. And on Tuesdays, Nora is getting ready to crunch down on their playoff streak. So definitely a lot of guys starting to close it up here at the end, seeing that we're getting much colder outside, and some are just starting to fire up. So you'll always be able to find the best here at Simtrax Broadcasting. This is Patrick Morrison and Douglas Ross here with the USORL Series, signing off here for tonight. So be well, be safe, be kind. We'll see all you guys next time.